Okay, now we've got all the pins in place to hold everything where we want it. So what I'm going to do now is to go back to gluing. So, get a seat here. Alright, I got this one. It looks good. Good and straight there. Alright. I'm going to go ahead and flood this with CA. Different backside maybe. Alright. Let's take a little bit of thick CA here in the gap. Just to make sure it's held into place. Also want to make sure it's up tight against the former. That should hold the bottom in. We're still nice and square. Just want to hit it with a quick shot of activator just to hold it. Okay. Let's see. Everything still looks good and square on it. Push it in. Okay. Little dab of activator. Like I said, again, this is just to hold this in place, like tack it basically is all I'm doing. I'm not doing a full on glue. Just trying to get some tacking done on it. Also make sure you get the end of it over here squared up where it sits right. Okay, so now just flood that little dude right there. Sometimes doing this, you'll get a little bit of gunk built up on these tips. By the way, these tips, you can buy a pack of 100 for just a few bucks off of Amazon. They fit these great. Thick, when they start off new, they'll look kind of like this. This has been trimmed back a little bit, but they'll be nice and long. On my thick CA, I just trim it off until it gets a decent flow on there. So it works as a good applicator. That. That one. Okay. So, got that one done, that one done. Hit this top one more time. The other thing about this thin, or this 1/8 inch cork board with this 1x12 pine underneath it, I can kind of put a little pressure and stick the needle into the pine so it helps hold it better. So it helps out quite a bit too. So we got that one, that one, that one, that one, that one, and that one. So now we're on to the Ford Former B. Now I'm kind of going about this just a little bit different what the instructions say. I'm actually gluing up the formers first once I get everything squared, and then I will go in with the bottom and the top pieces afterwards. But I want to make sure everything's good and square here first, because otherwise you end up with a crooked airplane, which is not cool. So we got these done. We'll go ahead and do this now. Look at your board really well. You know, like right there, I'm going to put that to the inside so it doesn't show through any covering. So just work it in. There we go. All right. Okay. So now then, get that popped into place. Once we're all in there and where we want it at, and go ahead and glue it to it, as long as everything is still square. So again, we'll start in the middle and work our way out, just like you're just putting a panel on a real airplane. Okay. Start with the middle and work your way out. Now then, push this over here, make sure it's good and square. I'll use a clamp on this. I like these little small Irwin quick grips. They work really well, especially for this kind of stuff. Right there at those points, let it soak in, and then just give it a little squirt. Which I still didn't want to do it. Try that again. Okay, soaked in, squirt. Back here to the tail. Get the tail piece. Let it soak in. Give it a squirt. Nice and straight, square, and glue it to it. There you go. All right, now then, get the back side. It always pays to have some debonder handy, which I don't, but I do have acetone, which it works as well, so not quite as well, but it works. Just soak it on the area and let it sit there for a few minutes. Okay, anyways, let's keep going. Keep going. So it's all secured up. The reason you make sure it's square because you don't want to twist the airframe, because it's just going to, whatever way the twist is when you're flying along, it's just going to cause it to roll or yaw or whichever way. So you want to try to keep it as straight as possible. All right. So let's go ahead and flood this with some CA. Try to glue my finger back together again. So that seems to be secured. Flush, so let's go ahead and hit this front side here. Once we get this glued up, we'll go ahead and go to work on the firewall, getting it cut out. Alright. There's that. Let's flood this one. Trick I've learned, got a long piece like that, long piece like that, you can take one of these sanding bars and use it as well to help get even pressure across it. And keep your fingers away from the glue. There you go. Now you do have to be careful when you're using this accelerator. If it hits a puddle of it, it'll kind of crystallize like that does right there. You have to go back and sand it back down. But, like I said, when I'm forming stuff up, I like using it to hold everything in place initially. So, okay, there's that. Now then, let's pull our pins. Starting to look kind of like an airframe almost. Okie dokie then. So now then, that's on there. Now we can take and put the top on. After get the rubber band out of the way. And knock a bunch of stuff over while we are at it. Which side looks better? That side needs to go in. Okay, so there's that. Pop loose there. Clearly some of these are not fully opened up on the gaps. So I'm going to go back there and do that. Like so. There. As long as it goes down and stays down, it is. So I'm going to go ahead and glue that down right quick. That should be okay. Okay then. So we got those two centers aft. Let's go ahead and hit this right here. Okay. Okay. Go ahead and flood that down. Grab our bar. Just squeeze it up to it. Make a nice solid. Finger sticker. Soaking through the plywood, which is a good thing. You can see down here at the end, which kind of crystallized right there from that activator. And not what I meant to do. Give me just 1 minute here. Okay, got that squared away. Had a little damage there that'll fill in though, unfortunately. That's what happens sometimes when you're using the CA, is things will get stuck to it. First time I've had that happen, but oh well. Okay, now then. Flip that. Try not to get stuck to it this time. Or me. Jeez. I'm on a roll today. Look at that. Oh, right there. I'm a smart one, I am. Together, probably right in the middle. Go woo 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 woo, and then a little more woo 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 over here. Okay. And same thing right here. Seriously. Wipe off the excess. Okay, now then, get up here to the front side. I don't know if I want to do this just yet until I get this firewall squared away. I think as far as this is concerned, from here back, that part's done other than the final gluing. So we'll set this to the side for now. Alright, I've got a piece of scrap 1/8" ply right here that I cut out. I don't remember what I cut out with it, but I cut something out with it. Or out of it, not with it. It'd be kind of cool if it was plywood, cut plywood, but you know. Alright, so got a good sharp number 2 pencil here. Get your tabs. Normally I would take the time and do the laser. I just don't feel like doing it right now. Okay, this will be A, R. Okay, so I have got it, the rough cut out. Now I just need to come back through and sand it off. Get it with, on these, when you do traces, you need to sand it down below the black line because you're taking it outside, so you need to get just past that black line whenever you're doing this. So, okay, I'm not going to subject you guys to all this sanding, so I'm going to get it sanded off camera, and I'll be back shortly.